Welcome, everybody. It's the Four Word Podcast. Today we got Denku. Why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm Denku, full name Tayamu Denku. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, hip hop all day, podcaster. Yeah, just keep it moving, man.
Oh yeah, Wisconsin's the first place I ever hit the studio in too. I never lived there, but it holds a place in my heart for sure. So when did it all start for you?
Um, you talking about when did I start rhyming or when did I take making music seriously? Because
Uh,
those are
let's
those are those are two completely different things.
let's go with when you started taking it serious.
All right, so it's probably once I got into college, in 2000. Is when I started actually being like, oh yeah, I want to make an album, I want to do this. And then what ended up happening was I linked up with some people one dude that I went to college with, and he introduced me to somebody else, and then we created this group called Wastelands, which is an acronym. I don't know if you know anything about this story, but basically Wastelands is an acronym for wisdom articulates serenity throughout entities living Allah's nurturing divine science. And that, I believe, Short Fuse, which was one of the group members, he actually came up with that acronym. And Augury is the other group member. That's who I went to college with. And yeah, basically, I was already rhyming at this point. I mean, I started rhyming probably 95, 96, as far as, just rapping with friends in high school at lunch table, shit like that. But yeah, 2000 is probably when I started going to the studio with these cats. And then I believe our first record uh, we dropped in '01 called Seasons Change.
Oh, nice. Yeah, around 2001's when I first wrote my first serious verse ever too. So
Hmm.
it's about the same time. I dropped my first demo around like 2005.
Oh, that's what's
Um,
up.
and do you remember exactly who you heard that made you fall in love with hip hop? Like actually just fall in love.
Hmm. Man, it's uh it's crazy because like the '90s is when a lot of real hip hop shit was still being played on the radio. As far as like the old school heads that I still listen to now, like with the boom bap era and all that. Uh, it was probably a back and forth thing between you know what? It might almost have been Rakim when I heard Rakim rhyme. Like, Microphone Fiend, Know the Ledge. Like those records were serious. Um, Funny story though. So like yeah, that's probably who made me be like, oh yeah, man, like this is dope. This is what I want to do. But the first actual physical CD that I actually bought was East 1999 by Bone Thugs. I never
Yeah.
bought anything before that. I heard a lot of shit on the radio, and I didn't have turntables at that point. I did after a while, and then I went through a vinyl phase, and now my girl bought me another turntable recently, and then I started bringing back out the vinyl that I had collected over the years. But yeah, I think the first physical CD I ever bought was that Bone record, and then Rakim. Rakim would probably be the first person when I listened to it where I was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's that hip hop shit. That's like I feel like I want to rap. I feel like I want to do. I want to try to do something. And then for me, it all started off the top. Like I never used to write shit down for the longest time. And then I started out freestyling. That might be why I'm so good at freestyling now because that's the way I started. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. That might be a good segue into this next thing. if I give you my answer to that, it's not who made me start writing, but it's the moment where like it overcame me and I fell in love with hip hop was when I heard Onyx Slam. And I used to turn that shit way up and just go crazy every time. And like I vividly remember that too, every time. And so you
Yeah.
just recently put out a new album under Onyx's label. Do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. Hip Hop or Death. Basically, um, that whole thing came together. I reached out to Fredro Starr because I had wanted to do a song with him because I had before the Fredro joint happened, I had already had joints with Sonny Caesar and Sticky Fingers. Like we had already did a joint. And I actually did shit with Sonny Caesar way the fuck back. Like I'm talking about like 2007, 2008 or something. So, I was already familiar with Onyx or whatever, and Fredro Starr was the last dude that I was like, man, I still would like to do a song with Fredro. He always seemed like one of the front runners of Onyx. Like that would be fresh to do a joint with him too. Um, so yeah, I reached out to him. Uh, I don't even know if he remembers this, but we actually used to chat back and forth on Twitter back in the day. That's where I originally started talking with him. And then we didn't talk for a long time about doing the song. And then I reached out to him and basically, you know, I sent him the beat. Um, he did his verse. He sent it back to me. And then he was like, you remind, it's crazy. Cause like with how lyrical you are, you remind me of like a MF Doom. And I was like, Doom, that was the first time I ever been compared to Doom ever in my life. I'd never had anyone compare me to MF Doom before. And I was like, that's dope in itself. That's dope, but I don't feel like I'm anything like Doom. But but yeah, so he sends it back. He tells me that, and then he randomly he just throws in this little snippet idea of like yeah, well, we got a label popping off. Maybe we could release something for you. And I'm not thinking anything of it. People have told me shit like this before in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and none of that shit even takes form. It's just something that someone talks about. So I didn't think nothing of it. And then basically after that had happened, the song's done. He sends me some little video footage that I was actually going to use, but we ended up changing that whole thing up when we ended up doing the video. But um, so then I don't hear nothing from him for a while. Then I hit him back on the email tip, and I'm like, yo, so about that thing about you putting out a record for me, is that like for real? Like, is that what you guys want to do? Like what's what was that you were talking about? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna uh here's my, it'll be easier like this, here's my number, hit me up, whatever. So then we had this conversation on the phone one day. It was surreal to me because I'm thinking like I mean, I've talked to people, I've talked to a lot of people, but it was just crazy because I didn't think I was gonna be, because he sounds just like he does on like the on the records. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's like, yeah, I'm having a conversation with him about stuff, and then he tells me he's gonna link me with this dude that does their booking and all that stuff, and he's basically the behind the scenes person for the whole situation. And then yeah, then I don't hear nothing for a long time again, like probably like a month, maybe some months, and then randomly I get hit up by this dude, um, Perry, and we start having conversations about the album and all this stuff like that. And he's like, send me the album, or send me something. So I send him the album with the song from Fredro on it. And it's got other things on there. It's got the song with Token on there. It's got the song with Sticky on there. It's got the song with AG on there. It's got the song with Jazzo on there. Like all these crazy collabs that I
Razcast.
the Razcast joint.
Yeah.
Yes. All that shit is on there. And he's like, man, I really like this. Like, this is a dope album.
It is.
So what else do you have? And I was like, well, I got this, this, and this, and this, and this. And I had like a bunch of videos that were already done that were in the back burner for it. And then I was like, but I wanted to do a video with Fredro, so I was gonna go shoot that footage. He gave me this little footage, and Fredro was like, nah, I'm gonna do something different. That was just some bullshit that I did that you could have used, whatever, but I'm gonna do something different. We're gonna make this shit for real. And then then the album came together. We talked about the first video single. We dropped that, set the release date, put the album out, and here we are now. I got that record out, and we're still pushing it. I still got 2 more videos from that album that are going to be dropping. The last one I just dropped was Mind Drug featuring Fashawn. I'm not sure if you saw that, but yeah, man. I mean, that's the newest thing. I mean, I don't know. I release a lot of music, so I don't know if you also caught that. Like a month after that dropped, or maybe a month and a half after that dropped, I put out a record called Collabzilla through a label out in Canada called Black Buffalo Records. And we recently just dropped that shit. And that's, for the people that don't know, that's also available. It's on Black Buffalo Records, but it's available on vinyl, CD, and cassette. So that's another dope record. But that album, real quick, let me just touch on it. That album is actually a bunch of, a lot of those are recreations. Like I did new verses, I did new hooks. The beats are brand new. A lot of those songs are recreations of shit that I did when I was working with my old producer that I no longer respect or work with at all. So basically, I hate the dude so much that I don't even want to. I don't even want to promote him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I redid everything that I ever did with him. Like I don't really. I mean, some of those albums, they're still available on my Bandcamp, but I don't push none of that shit because I hate that dude.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen you did stuff with like Jadakiss and a whole bunch of people. Like, who was your favorite person to collab with?
Ever in life?
Yeah, ever.
My favorite collab song is not even a super known. It's this song I have with Chino XL and Lord Have Mercy. And the reason that that's my favorite is because those are 2 inspirations for me. So to have them both on one song with me and work with both of those dope lyricists together is that's the shit. Like that was it's just crazy. Like that joint's just crazy.
I haven't heard that. Is it out somewhere? Because I listen to Chino XL all the time.
So there's a version of that that's on one of those albums I did with that old producer, but I don't push that. So what's basically going to happen is there's the original version of that song, because that was a song I did with them way back, and the original producer of that song was Ayatollah, and so I stepped back because I'm not pushing this other producer that did the remix of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm stepping all the way back because I never released the version that Ayatollah did. And I'm going to end up putting out an EP because I have like 6 or 7 beats from Ayatollah that I got back in the day. And the features on them, one of them is the joint with Chino and Lord Have. And then there's another joint with me, Prince Poe, and Main Flow. I think those are the 2 collab joints on that record. Yeah, and those joints are done. I just got to figure out a time when to put it out and actually go back and finish the other songs over the Ayatollah beats because I haven't done that yet.
Oh yeah. So what are the next plans? So you put out Collabzilla, you said?
Yeah, so Collabzilla just dropped. You know, I'm still pushing hip hop or death heavy. Like, you know, we still got 2 videos to drop for that album. There's not going to be any videos for the Collabzilla. That's basically just, um, you know, that's a record that we put together that, I mean, I love it. I think it's super dope. It's dope that it's, you know, that it's on vinyl. It's dope that you can also get it on cassette, stuff like that. And I actually heard that I'll be getting my physical copies this Wednesday, and I have a show on Saturday up north. So I should actually have the physical copies of that for that show. So that'll be fresh. Um, but yeah, so we put that album out. Hip Hop or Death is there. I'm also working on multiple EPs right now. So um, I'm working on a Cypher Den project with my dudes, Rambunctious, Urban Legend, and Bofat, because Bofat is you know, he's a member. He's down with us. So it's basically us four, Bofat on the beats, me, Urban, and Ram on the lyrics. And we've been working on that project. I think we're like 4 songs deep on that. And I literally, right before this podcast started, I literally recorded my verse for the 5th song, like right before I got on here. I did that. And I wrote it yesterday at work, actually. Hilarious, but whatever. I use my job for, you know, other things. But so that's a project. And then me and the Canadian homie Thrust OG, who's actually on Hip Hop or Death, me and him randomly started talking about doing our EP together. And so that's what started. Like, I think we're 3 songs into that. At least my parts are done. He's supposed to be hitting the studio, and he's going to give me the vocals soon. But we were talking about, I think we could do like 6 songs, maybe 2 videos for that. Drop that as an EP. That'll be coming at some point. And then me and my dude, Mad Dukes, from out in Buffalo, we also have an EP that we're working on. It's long overdue. Like, I've known Mad Dukes probably since 2012, 2013. He used to tour with Fresh Kills, a respected live pad drummer, drum machine dude. They used to tour together, and that's when I met him when he came through Wisconsin a couple times. And we've been cool ever since. And then, you know, obviously when I toured, I always hit Buffalo. He always played those shows. But yeah, we're finally coming together. We're putting out a project. 4 of the tracks are going to be produced by Bofat. 4 of the tracks are going to be produced by Fresh Kills. And that's something else in the works. Other than that, I mean, I actually have a ton of projects that are done that I'm sitting on. I probably got like 10 to 11 albums that are finished that I'm, you know, that I'm just waiting to put out there whenever I'm ready.
Like, you ever feel like, because sometimes I had stuff in the back that I never released, and then I did something else that I liked better, so they'd all never like actually came out. Does that ever happen? Or is it just you're that dope all the time, or what?
Well, nah, man, it's like I just think I make too much music, and that's the reason it doesn't come out. It's not like I want to release everything I've done, and the thing is like this: like I don't get what is the word? Why can't I think of it right now? It's crazy. It's not even coming to me. But I'm not as hard of a critic on myself. You know, people that are too hard on themselves as critics, and then they never release anything.
Oh yeah.
So I think when I started, I was like that, and then I had conversations with people, and they made me not be like that. To where I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep putting my shit out. If people like it, they like it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't like it, they don't like it. You know who is gonna like it? I'm gonna like it. So as long as I like it, who gives a fuck if the other people like it? Because that's how it started for me, and there's still a bit of that there. I mean, obviously now I do have like, you know, my little fan base or whatever, and you know, it's cool. Someone actually told me the other day, I made this random post about how I'd be cool with being done with music as long as I have some kind of cult following. This dude hits me up and literally right after the post, he's like, bro, you already have a cult following. I was like, oh, word. Well, I didn't know this, um, but yes. So I'm not, I'm not my own worst critic, which is the reason why uh, I constantly try to release. Like the reason things haven't been released is because I make so much shit. That's the reason. Like there's even shit that's on my old hard drive that I'd like to release. Last year, I put out three. I put out three random EPs that BoFat redid the beats on. That were songs that I recorded in 2005.
Damn.
I just had them redo them because I was like, I never released these, and these are kind of cool. I mean, some people might not like them nowadays because you know how the cancel culture is. So I might say some shit that people are like, "Oh, you can't say that." I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
motherfucker, I wrote it in '05. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what you think. It is what it is. Back then,
Mhm.
things were different. Now everybody has, you know, is upset at everything. It's like if you don't follow this, then you upset somebody else. It's
Yeah,
just it's weird. Today is a weird time.
it is. And also, um, I know this is off subject, but I kind of want to talk live shows and stuff. And do you have any like tours that you think you're going to go on next year or anything?
Hmm. Well, there was the talks since you know I'm affiliated with 100 Mad now. There's the talks that I might possibly be the opener for Onyx overseas next year, or maybe be an opener for you know other tours that they are affiliated with. Um, but you know, I'm not sure. You know, whatever happens, happens. You know, I don't. I'm not relying on any of these things to just happen. That's the thing. I'm always constantly working. So if they don't happen, or if I don't see that they're going to happen, you know, I'd like to redo my tour that I had planned before the pandemic, which
Mm,
was gonna be a 21 date, uh, you know, Midwest down to Southwest, and then back around and up. Like I had 21 dates booked, man. I had it all booked, and
man.
you know, I had to cancel it. And then even before that, I had a little 5 day. It was either a 4 or 5 day or 5 show run that I was going to do up through Minnesota to North Dakota, and then back through Minnesota. I mean, you know, I've played Minnesota a lot of times, being affiliated with Hecatome and my dude Carnage the Executioner. Like I've been out there a lot. Shouts to him. You know, blessings to him for helping. He's actually the one that created my ambition and vision for starting to do tours as much as I did, because I wasn't, you know, I was just doing random shows here and there, and then I think starting in 20 it was either the end of 2015 or 2016, one of those two, where I booked my first tour. And then ever since then, you know, I just did multiple tours every year, even if they were short tour runs. You know, I put together different tour runs, and up to 2019, right before, you know, the pandemic hit in 2020. At the end of 2019, I had done my 13th tour.
Was that one with Soul True?
No, no, no. That one was early. That one was before the summertime.
No, how was
So,
that? he
oh, it
kind
was
of he kind of hit me up a little bit when you were out with him. That's how I know who you are, or know you anyway of you.
it
But
was it was super dope, man. I mean, you know, lots of great memories from that tour. You know, lots of fun times. I think people might have got a little confused at first because you know I'm like this hardcore, grimy hip hop dude, and I'm touring with like R&B hip hop dude. Like I think people got confused, but it worked so dope because it was
Mhm.
like, you know, we would have the opening acts, and then Soul True would come on and kill it, and then I would come on and kill it on a whole different level. So it was a cool balance and a cool transition from what he does into what I do. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Like I said, I think that was it's either 10 or 11 dates that we did. You know, we started up here and we worked our way down to Texas, and then we looped back around. Um, we actually hit some crazy storms on that tour, like real crazy, especially in Oklahoma. It was insane.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, but yeah, man, lots of fun times. We actually, um, I know we would like to do it again at some point, some kind of tour again, because it would just make sense. It would be fun to do.
So I know you and him, and actually myself, feel a certain way about people rapping over their own vocals at live shows. Um, what are your exact thoughts on that? Because I'll speak on it too, but I want to hear what you want to say about that if you want to talk about it.
um, it's just it's so whack to me, man. It's like even when you do it from an idea of being a concert goer, like if you're somebody that's not even an artist, but you're going to a concert, like you spend all this money to go to like a famous concert, and then there's even famous people doing that now, and it's like, did I really just pay all this money to see somebody rap over their backing track? Like, what the fuck is going on right now? But like, it's crazy because I feel like every single show that I went to or festival that I went to from the beginning up until maybe, like, when did that shit start? I feel like 2012. I I'm trying to think of when it actually started, when I first saw it ever happen, because
Yeah,
I
but
feel like because
why is it happening more and more though? Like, cause I coming up like I on my first time I ever performed, I knew less than 20 hours before because somebody showed him my shit and this guy's like, hey, my band's playing, you want to open for us? So I rapped over my uh, backing track or whatever. And then the next performance I probably did. And then after that, nobody had to tell me. I'm like, I'm giving you a live show. I'm not gonna rap over my song. Like I just feel like it's cheating the crowd, but like I'm seeing it all the time from people that have been doing it as long as me now. And I'm like, wait a minute. Got it. I don't know.
well, here's the excuse. Here's the excuse that I've been hearing from people. People are like, the sound system in venues is not good enough. So I want to make sure that people hear me.
Mm-mm.
This is the thing about it though. I've played shows in coffee shop venues with one motherfucking speaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I still didn't rap over my vocal tracks. And it sounded better than somebody that actually did at that show. Somebody tried to rap over their vocal track at that show, and it sounded horrendous over the one speaker. And then I'm like, then I go on, do my little whatever shit, and my shit sounded more clear and crispy. Oh shit! I just fucking bumped my thing. But my shit sounded more clear and crispy than them rapping over your vocal track. And that's the thing. Some people are, there's people that have that excuse. There's the other thing where people that tour so much, they have the excuse of, oh well, my voice is fucked up. I need to use this. This is the thing. If if I'm touring, I'm finding ways to make sure that my voice is going to be good enough for those shows, whether it's drinking tea, whether it's, I always keep this, whether it's, you know, the honey thing. Um, you need to find ways to train your voice to be able to do those shows. Saying your voice is strained because you do a lot of shows, for me, that's not an excuse. Like, I don't want to go to a show knowing that somebody that I respect and look up to is going to be rapping over their vocal tracks just because they are unable to do it. You know what? If you can't figure out the way to do it, then don't tour such long runs. I understand that's the moneymaker in music today, but the thing is, you need to find better ways to train your voice, to treat your vocal cords. Like, vocal cords are, you know, it's you need to treat them like, when you're a performer, you need to treat them like they're one of the most valuable parts of your body, because that's what you're going to be using. Otherwise, play an instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the vocals, if you're the live performer and the vocalist, as the artist you are, that is your instrument. So you need to keep it. You need to keep it good, man. That's what it is. This just rapping over vocal shit. This shit is whack. This shit needs to go somewhere. I don't know why the younger generation, and like you said, even the older cats are starting to go to it, and I just don't understand. Like, if you think a venue system is whack, play a different venue. The thing is, if you're a good performer, you can make your shit sound dope over anything. Or Soul True. Soul True is done. Um, I've seen him. Like, I feel like it was him that it happened to. Maybe my dude Ram. One of them two, where like their flash drive didn't work or something or whatever, and then they were like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna do some acapella shit, and then they just did acapella shit. You know what I'm saying? Like who? Like, why are you? Yeah, the shit's
You're
whack, man.
it's
It's
so
just garbage.
true. Like so true. When he travels too, he gets those allergies hella bad. And he'll do multiple shows, but like even when his voice goes out a little, he's still not gonna throw something in the back. But we've been to these shows, like what even blows me away more is I'm seeing people with hype men and groups doing it. And I'm like, why aren't they doing this? If you can't control it, like have them learn the parts where you need to be like boom and they say boom. And so like Soul True and I were at a show recently and we saw these younger people up there doing it and they saw the older people doing it. And we're like, hey man, you guys will sound so much better without that backing track, and use your guys. You're all up there, use each other, man. Like you can hype each other up. They can go into the hook for you and just do anything. But like I just don't understand why it's like groups of people. Like he just showed me videos from something he was at after that, and it was like the guys were dope, but guess what? And I was like, why are they? Is this really a thing? Like all the time now? But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've even seen people that I respect that have done it. Like, I'm not trying to diss, but
Yeah,
there's definitely people that I respect that I've seen rap over vocals. You know what it is? You know why you can't tell the younger generation shit? Because the egos on a lot of people nowadays are so crazy that they don't want to hear nothing. And then when like and then you get somebody like me where they think that, you know, if I give like constructive criticism to somebody, they'll be like, "Oh, who is this dude? That's his ego." And I'm like, "No, motherfucker, it's me being an MC for 26 years, having a lot more under my belt than you have at this point, and I'm trying to tell you that this is not the way. You
Yeah.
like if the few, I mean, and if it is the way, then what the fuck am I doing wrong? I
Yeah.
don't understand. Like it's yeah,
There's
man. I'm and the younger generation, they don't want, they don't want to hear shit from anyone except their closest people. So unless their closest people are telling them like that's not the way, they're not trying to hear it. So I don't really know, man, how to, because I've told people that you just like you said, like you would sound a lot better
It would.
If
And
you
I'm
if
not
you
talking
didn't do
shit
it.
either. Like I'm not talking shit on like distant either, but because there are people I respect that do it, and it kind of blows my mind because I'm like, I just don't. To me, it was never told to me. It was something that I just did. Like I just threw
Exactly,
away the.
exactly.
I was like, hey, like NDK's been my guy behind the beat, like engineering and studio and shit. And I'm like, hey, take these off. We'll put the hook in like quietly, but like I don't know. I haven't had to been told that. It was just something I just thought everyone might know. But
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I mean, there's sometimes I leave the hook on something or whatever, but that's it. And even that, I've even strayed away from doing that a lot of the times because my dude Carnage would be like, you don't even need the hook. Like if you know the hook, why you don't even need to do that. I mean, I leave the hook on some things because it adds a little element, but never when I do my actual verses ever do I do that. And then I do like crowd shit here and there, whatever. But but yeah, man, I definitely think that it's a problem, especially in hip hop, where people are doing that more and more. And um, yeah, it's sad. It's sad to see it. I always thought that it was a live performance is something you need to practice at, that you need to perfect before you even step on stage. And now cats are so lazy, they have their people on stage with video cameras recording them like it's a party for one person and shit. And I'm like, the fuck's even going on? Like, you're not even rapping your parts. You're just dancing and mumbling some random shit. Like, that shit is garbage. Like, any of those people out there that do that shit, I will murder you in a live show. I don't give a fuck. And you can say I'm a hater. I don't care about none of that.
oh yeah, um, yeah, I do like your videos of your live shows. Though speaking of that, man, like your freestyles are sick too. But
Word, appreciate you.
I like how your videos and your songs all kind of like, especially your videos are all different, man. Like you'll come out with this video with a certain theme, and then you go like, was it Razcast? Was the cartoon kind of?
Yeah, that was the animated joint. Shouts out
Yeah,
to my dude Big Hurt. He put that joint together.
and it's just nice to see, especially this far along, you're still coming up with new things and still putting out good music. Always, always trying to just go above and beyond. That's awesome to see. Listening to your music too. I'm guessing, are you more of an East Coast guy? Because I see you have a lot more like, I think you have more East Coast collabs than West Coast, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
East Coast is kind of I mean, I respect the Midwest. I respect the West Coast. There's even South that I respect. But East Coast, I think that was mostly what I was listening to. So I kind of channeled that uh, when kind of building into who I was as an artist. And there was one point in time where I was going out to, because I was on a label in Staten Island for a little while called Uncommon Records. And we would go out there and do this yearly festival every once in a while. And going out to New York, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that city's too big for me." Like, I loved it. I was like, I almost felt like this is where this is where I was in my previous life or something, or this is where I need to be in my next life or whatever it is. Like, this is where I want to be. So like at one point in time, I was considering moving out there, and then obviously things just didn't line up the way that they could have, so it didn't happen. But um, yeah, man, I always felt that vibe, that and being the origin of hip hop to some people. I mean, some people don't even think it originated in New York, but being an origin of where hip hop is from, um, just studying and stuff like that. It's just the vibe that I always had. I don't really know why it's like that. I don't know why I don't I don't fit the Midwest sound. But what is a Midwest sound anyway?
Yeah.
Because it's like I hear Midwest and it's like a conversion of down south and like one of the other coasts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like does Midwest actually have its own sound? I don't know. I don't know if it actually does, to be honest.
No, I don't know. I mean, everyone automatically goes to like Twista and everything, but like when you go to Chicago, some of those Chicago shows, like if you weren't rapping fast, then they didn't really care. But like that was a while ago. I don't know how it is now. But even now, it's like trap or like, and that's just Chicago because then you can go up north or like,
Well,
yeah,
Wisconsin's got a lot of trap and a lot of drill music. That's the most popular shit here. Um, as far as boom bap in Wisconsin, uh, not that much.
so
Not
what
that
was it?
much.
What was it like or at least Milwaukee? What was it like with the music scene? I was in a
Early,
group.
early. Are you talking about earlier or
Yeah, just kind of coming up in music. Just what was the scene like?
so earlier? It was uh, boom bap shit, but then I mean, there's still people here that do that, but they're older heads, that still do it. Um, but uh, man, I'm like I can't even pinpoint when the whole transition happened. Like, because I feel like even in 2010, I would still hear some random people rocking over some boom bap shit every once in a while. But that also might just be the shows that I was a part of or that I was on. Because the party shit was starting to come up, the drill shit was starting to come up. Um, but the thing about Milwaukee and it's the reason why nobody is super successful out of Milwaukee is because nobody here really supports one another. The thing is, it's like everybody wants to be the number one, and everybody's a fucking artist. Like where the fuck are the fans? That's
Yeah, that's
like
here too.
so it's like it's hard to get ahead here, and then the people that are the most popular here are the people with the most friends, or they're the people with the most the most connection into the media outlets, and those are the people that get known. And you know I'm very blessed and thankful for the accolades of things that I've been able to do. But Milwaukee don't give a fuck about what I've done. Like that's the vibe that I get. And the thing is like I try to tell people without showing like this hardcore ego of myself, but basically it's just the confidence in the things I've been able to do, to where like I'm like, dog, y'all really are not fucking with what I've accomplished and what I've done. Like you guys don't want to talk about the shit that I've done. Like and I've tried to help people. Like I've tried to I've put people on shows because I've booked a lot of shows here for
Hmm.
touring acts. I've helped a lot of people tour and stop in Milwaukee that would never have stopped here before in their life. I've I've showed people the ropes of how to put together your own tours, people that I actually think are dope enough that could maybe do something like that. Like I've done all these things. So if I'm the one that's the biggest asshole here with the biggest ego, why the fuck am I helping other motherfuckers do shit? If I was the person that had the biggest ego in Milwaukee, who was the biggest asshole, I wouldn't help none of y'all motherfuckers do shit ever.
Right.
So it's frustrating being here, man, because it's like uh you know the it's just the support system is not here. Like my
Yeah.
my my biggest fan in Milwaukee is my girl. It's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like the Davenport area. Um, Crap. No, I literally was just gonna say something else, man. No, but
My
okay.
bad. I went off on tangents
No,
and
no,
shit.
you're good. You're good. I was like, shit. Damn, that's yeah. I hear that a lot about people's like hometown when they're doing music and shit. Um, so did you ever cross paths with Sideways out there in Milwaukee?
Yeah,
Uh,
he don't fuck with me.
all right. Yeah, me and
He
him, we were in a little group together for a little bit, a little while ago.
okay.
Yeah,
Like we've played shows together,
yeah.
and I feel like we were cool for a little bit, and then I don't really know what happened. Like it was never no beef with me. Like I feel like he got upset at something, and then that was it.
All right.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
really
was
know.
just curious. Yeah, I've run into like everybody that I like which kind of goes to your point though, like everyone that I met out there are like I know differently, like not from each other, you know. Because like, yeah, you might be right. Nobody's really like unifying out there. But like, yeah, man, that shit happens. Like I said, that happens like everywhere. I even moved out to Baltimore and everyone's like, they made it sound just like back home. And I'm like, yeah. The only place I'd seen it like kind of come together was when I was down in Orlando, and like there's a lot of people that fucked with each other out there, and you
Yeah,
just help boost each other up, you know.
Florida seems to be showing love to each other, like they help each other out down there. Tour in Florida was super fun.
Oh yeah,
I heard the West Coast is pretty supportive of one another. Um,
looks like Houston might be like that too, to an extent.
well, Houston, maybe, but Houston is the hardest place to get a show. I feel like I've tried to book Houston so many times, and I can never get a Houston show. I don't know if you got connects in
I got
Houston.
you. I had a, yeah, I had a, I know some big people down there, but I was gonna get a venue for my friend down there for like a semi big act, and like they were on it right away, so I could probably get you something down there.
Oh, that's what's up.
Um, and what would you say your best show you've ever done was? Speaking of
Hmm.
shows, all time.
Oh man, that's that's crazy. The best show I've ever done. Hmm. Make me think for this one.
Yeah.
Um, and there's so many shows. I don't know if I could pick a best one. The thing is one of my favorite places to play is Buffalo. And it's not because um the crowds are always, you know, packed house or nothing. It's because um they fuck with me out there. And it's the people that come to the shows fuck with me, and the other artists are generally on the same level, and they're dope. And just the people that book me out there are super cool people. And yeah, I love playing Buffalo, man. I actually love that town, that city, that area is super dope.
You don't hear a
Um,
lot about Buffalo either.
well, you didn't, and now Buffalo is on the map because Griselda is from Buffalo, so um, now you know they're like a focal point in hip hop because that's where Griselda came out. And now there's a whole movement out there. Like upstate New York has a movement. Like Rochester, you got Trust and Ito, and there's a lot of people coming out of upstate New York right now, and it's crazy out there. But um, man, like there's so many fun shows I've done that were cool. I won't want to. I don't want to say that there's a best show I've done. The shows that are the best to me are the ones um, where the crowd is responsive to the things I do, which is a majority of the shows I do, even if there's only, 15, 20 people in the crowd or something. If it's like a smaller show on a weekday or something, even if there's that many people in the crowd, if those people are completely responsive and receptive to what's going on that I'm doing, and they stop by the merch table after and buy some merch because they love what they saw me do and they want to know what record it's on and where is this and where can I get that and how can I follow you. Any show where that happens are dope fucking shows.
Yeah.
All
Gotta
those
love
are
the
dope.
fans. Yeah. So you do a freestyle every time you perform? Because I see you get the crowd involved.
I usually end my shit with that. And there's been people that have talked to me before where they're like, I don't know if that's the way you should end all the time. I don't know if you should do this, but and I thought about switching it up and putting it in different places, but I just because technically I'm ending every set without a beat. You know what I'm saying? I'm ending every set doing an acapella freestyle, but it's blown people's minds to where I get just as much crowd reaction and cheer when I'm done than rocking a song with crowd participation or something. So until that stops happening, I feel like I'm going to keep doing that. So yeah, but basically what I do, I go around, I get people to give me words or concepts or ideas, and I remember them all, and our goal and what I've done more recent. I didn't used to always do it like this. I used to just grab the words and do it and be done. But what I've done more recent is our take all those concepts and ideas and I run through the entire list, incorporating other freestyle shit, and then what I'll do is I'll reverse it in the same order backwards and our end. And when I'm done, people are like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He did the whole shit front to back. That's amazing. I mean, yeah, obviously there's times I forget the words because there's so many here and there. Like I have done that. And then people are calling me out like, you forgot that word, da, 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 whatever. I'm like, my bad. But what else did I do? Yes, I did all this other shit.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Next time I got you. But yeah, like I usually end with that. And then somewhere in the middle of my set, I'll do the object freestyle, which is something that you might, you've probably seen other people do something like that where I know Mega Ran does it. I know Afro, I've seen do it. I've seen some other people do it. I've been doing it for a while now. Probably like 15 years. I've been maybe even 20 since the start of me doing shows. I always would do it because I would want to have an extra element instead of just doing songs. And then when I started out, I would never memorize shit. So I basically freestyle everything I ever did. And a lot of people didn't even know because number one, they didn't know the fucking songs. So they had no idea. And number two, I just have become flawless at off the top freestyling to where people wouldn't even know that I was not even doing the lyrics on the song.
Oh yeah. So as you do shit more and do more performances, because I noticed that with me, like as I got older, my memory got better. Is that kind of what happens with you? Like shit just locks in. I can't do that. Like I can't be like say a word, I forget, man. But my memory does get better, like in general in life. It feels like.
Yeah, it definitely has because like I said earlier on, I would never, it would be hard for me to memorize songs, and I would never, memorize shit unless I would constantly put it on, whatever, try to get it. And then like it take like weeks at sometimes for me to get the shit down. But now it's like come to a point where like, I've been doing all these music videos and shit. And it's like, I'll procrastinate because I got so much other shit going on to where I'll be like the day before the music video, I'll practice that day and I'll get the verse like ready by the next day. Or like, I'll even have the verse damn near memorized in an hour. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay. I was seeing, because I've never really asked anyone that before. I've told people, I'm like, and the more shit, because I'm learning shit like outside of music, like all the time. So it feels like stuff kind of locks in more. And then I'm remembering like, because people like, I mean, like ex-girlfriends and shit, like I didn't say that. I'm like, I remember that whole conversation. Like, I don't want to sound like that guy, you know, because I'm sure they all say that shit, but I'm like, no, trust me. Like I remember like everything, you know.
Yeah.
It gets better because, and I haven't been performing. Like I've been doing more of the music business side of it, but like,
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, what's it like in Iowa? I mean, what's the show shit like in Iowa right now with the cases rising? Is it?
man, I just, it feels like some places are getting a little scared because I was gonna bring someone in, and I don't know, and people are starting to get scared about the numbers rising. That I kind of backed out on 2 shows that I was putting together. I don't want to take a loss. That's not, you know. So I
Yeah.
kind of was like, man, I'll chill a little bit. And I know Soldier is booked up a lot. So I mean, we're busy, but I mean, one of his festivals got canceled, and it's kind of like, man, we're headed to Pittsburgh in like a little over a week or something. Like, I hope that doesn't get canceled. But like, I know Iowa. Like, I think Illinois is starting to get way more strict, and then Iowa should fall behind pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I got I've really only done around the area. I haven't even tried to dip out really, uh, just uh, just because of things that are going on. I thought about rerunning back my Minnesota North Dakota run. I did think about doing that because North Dakota cases have been low since damn near the beginning. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
feel like they're never going to shut down, but I just don't know, man. Like you know, my girl's immunocompromised. Um, you know, you hear things about um, kids getting long term organ damage from the shit, whatever. Whatever you believe, it is what it is. But the thing is, I got 2 daughters. I got a girl that's immunocompromised that I try to keep safe in the whole situation. I mean, me, um, I got one of the vaccine things, but and basically it's and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you need to get it, blah blah blah, whatever. No, do what you want to do. The thing is I feel like if I'm ever gonna tour internationally, I'm gonna need to get some kind of vaccine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is like now we're seeing, the vaccine ain't even doing shit anyway. So it's like, and it's crazy because right after I did a show, literally a venue, um, I'm going to tell you tell you exactly how this whole situation went real quick. So we get to the venue, right? Um, and my girl came to this show. We got our masks on, whatever. At this point, I had already had the vaccine shot, whatever, but we still got our masks on. We go in, a bunch of the artists and all the staff, they're all masked up. So like, my girl's like, oh, this seems like it'll be okay and safe or whatever. And literally after the first act goes on, people start getting a little more twisted, and then I think the only people that had masks on for the rest of the night were me, my girl, and the staff. And then there was no mask on. And literally the day after that show, the venue made an announcement saying, um, just so you know, going forward to be safe with protocols, you need to be either show your vaccination card to get in, or you need to and you need to have masks on. I don't even know if they made an announcement of having a negative test if you don't have the vax card. I don't even know if they made that announcement, but I know Summerfest, which is about to start, they're requiring either vaccine cards or a negative COVID test 2 to 3 days
Mhm.
before you come in or whatever. Like you need proof of that to even come into the grounds. So I don't know if that's something that's going to happen going forward. If that's what everything's going to be like, I don't know if a lot of places are going to follow suit on that. I did see some even venues that I've played out of town following those protocols. So I don't know. I don't know what things are going to look like in the future, but that is the reason why I have not dove into booking any tour
right,
events?
right. It's hard because I don't know, man. Like nobody knows, and like we have one of the festivals coming up where you have to show your card or test negative, and um, yeah, I don't. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't lock in one of these shows because like I'm way ahead of stuff. I would have everything set up, everybody ready, and then just think if like before that show they cap down on capacity, all of a sudden I'm out money, and because I can't get the people I need to make the money back for bringing in that artist. Like, no, like I can't.
Oh
It
yeah,
sucks,
I
but
feel you. I feel you.
we had stuff too. Like I had like a really cool tour lined up for um, Terrence and I, and then like I had another really cool event that I've done before, and I was gonna do it again. Um,
Did you just decide to just cancel it, or did you
it
not
wasn't.
even or did you not even start booking it?
No, it wasn't set. None of the contracts were signed or anything. It was kind of like it was in the works, so it kind of sucks. But like, because like I didn't want to sound like a guy that just backs out, but at the same time I had to watch out for it. So there was nothing signed. There was no offer agreement. Um, I had the prices where I wanted them. I had the venue, like I had some of those things lined up, and then it was just kind of like, all right, guys, like I can't, like I just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's crazy and it's hard and but you see people out there touring and you got to wonder like is that the thing right now? Is that really what we're supposed to be doing right now? Is that
Yes,
is that safe for other people? Is that safe for your fans? Is it safe for your health? Is it safe for your family? Is it I mean as an artist, touring is where the money is. That's like if you want to be a full-time artist, you need to tour.
right.
Like there's no other way that you can
No,
make it as an artist. So
you're not making
um
anything off streaming, and unless you're just well, not even then really. But yeah, you got to go out. You got to get out and do tours. You're right.
yep.
It's. I mean, it's just kind of like it kind of sucks. Like I mean, it really sucks, but just kind of going through it, and now we're like thinking that things are going to be okay, and now it's just kind of like shit. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm so used to just like sitting back, like kind of. I've been safe, man. I don't really do a whole lot these days, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm just kind of used to it by now. It's unfortunate, but I mean, you know how Soul True works. We're gonna definitely get through this on top.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really no big deal. Um, I didn't really have a whole lot of other topics to cover. I mean, we can end this if you want to freestyle, but
Oh, is that
oh
what
shit,
you?
yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't want to put you on like that, but
I mean, I
that's
had
how
no
you
I
end your shows. No, I'm
I
kidding.
had I had no idea we were doing. We could do it. I've actually never done that on a podcast, so
I
that would be
never.
the first time.
I I didn't even get the idea till like halfway through when we were talking about it, and I'm like, shit, you don't gotta do that. It's all good.
I mean, if you want to do it, shit. I mean, we could. Yeah. I mean, you want to do that? We could do that.
Sure.
All right. So let's. So yeah. So let's do it like this.
Oh yeah.
We'll start since it's just me and you. How about we do? Well, give me 2 words to start. What do you got? 2 words.
Brutus and Phi Tai.
Brutus and Vitae.
Yeah, Phi Tai. My dogs.
Vitae. Brutus
Yeah.
and Vitae. That's what's up. Okay, so Brutus Vitae. Let's add these couple items I got. We got honey, right? We got my full throttle energy can. We got this empty bottle of water. I'll even hold them up when I go through them. And then we got what else we got? We got a little pen. What's this? Oh shit. These have been sitting here since last Valentine's Day. We got these little
Shit.
tiny conversation hearts and USB What else? Got an Allen wrench, right? And let's do this melted heart sucker. All right, whatever. We're going through. So
Okay.
got Brutus, Vitae, and all these items. Also, give me tell me something you had to eat yesterday.
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Yeah.
All right. So this one I'm not going to do in an order because it's literally just me and you talking. So I'll flip through everything that I got going on here. Usually, like I said, if I do an end thing, I'll go through it in an order front to back, but we're not going to do an order, but I'll try to go through the entire thing front to back. So we got Brutus, Vitae, Papa John's, all these items. All right, let's get into it. So, you remember something when they talked about a beefcake, depth to the Keith's sake? Wait a second. Beefcake like Brutus, WWF, old school wrestle effect with something that is so taken back from a DOS effect that could twist your neck. I ain't even speaking to a retrospect. I could take you to Steve Vai, tie-dye, words back to the old remedy of a guitar vibe. Wait a second. My secondary will twist you backwards into whatever stench, and then I'll pluck your eyes out with this half-broken Allen wrench. It doesn't matter. My statement is lost in your own follow, but you ain't even got to rev the engine. I'm an old game, like full throttle. You can't catch the computer dialect that my statement could see. I will save all your music and steal it for free on this white USB. But dog, I am gonna melt you past your point of view with whatever Montague is passing a point of Romeo depth for a Capulet in you. I'm not stating the view. It's just an old school remedy language to a poetical skew. And my Hugh Diamond dialect diluted statement of whatever respect is a retrospect that doesn't even have to protect its own neck unless Wu-Tang has a state that is lost in its own bet. But we're not talking Wu-Tang backwards to another statement of whatever champ. I'm not drinking Noriega unless I leave you words so damp you're lost. I'm melting you inside of your flavored heart cross. But whatever you got to do is just a language set into whatever withdrawal, writing you down on a pen language distorted to a diluted face of whatever anguish is honey-coated in the brain before anybody could man with. I'm dropping your water down without water in the pamphlet of whatever you could do, motherfucker. This is not the pamphlet, but I will consume doom and whatever I do, hew hell. My next show might be in the Colorado room. Flip it upside down with a little bit of whatever. Look, shit, I even charge my albums in my next checkbook. Fuck it. My wordplay is so click on your mouse. You motherfuckers ain't even got nothing close enough to your spouse. Yeah. Let's travel back to the paper route. I might even holler at your spouse with a conversation heart doused inside of its own out, in and out language to a little bit of writing down. I ain't even got to take you to the profound dialect of whatever you do to my in sound. I will water you and water down with a honeycoat to knock your throat and tell your full throttle that the energy is not the joke, but I ain't even USB language to whatever I save. I will book you past the check and then check off your whole day. Fuck you words. You ain't even got to talk back to the rallying. I will take you back to Jimmy Fallon and bust him with this broken Allen. My wrench stench is just Bach word to whatever quench. Y'all motherfuckers ain't here, but I will dilute you to whatever stench is holding on to your pen language to write you down. Wait a second. My words is so Brutus that I knock you past your own sound and dog rev the language to whatever I anguish with a little Vitae, whatever you stained with a stained glass. Hold on, son. I'm not octagon. I take you past this and fucking Octo Mom on top of a Papa John's. I ain't even got to move to Great Poupon, Don Juan DeMarco, holding on to your car flow. Y'all people got to twist in your car note with Sparko. My anguish is missing you to delude your whole stain with opportunity. Motherfuck you and your Latifa unity. You don't even have to spud neck my spun tech of anyone to steam deck. My insect is dialect diluted past my thorax. Bow rat, Fotax, fuck your bitch. She probably used Botox. My depth is in my own socks. You ain't even chops. My own stick language could knock you motherfuckers down to your socks. puppet that. Y'all ain't even gotta talk to what you do. Shit. I even make songs that are bang harder than Run the Jewels. My depth is true, but I run it to your soul. You're not new, you're just mixed old. Do what you're all told. Fuck this. I could keep going forever and ever, but I think I went around back to the earth, wind, and fire. My depth desire, sire, with whatever flyer is mixed onto your show. I rip off with broken pliers. Depth, down under. Quigley like the wine state. My verses is still here. Fuck a rapper that could why hate. Y'all ain't even depth to me. And I'm even in my own state where people don't even buy my records. Fuck it. Cop a new tape. Dog.
that was fucking awesome. Thank you, dude.
Oh, yeah, just some things.
Oh yeah. So and before we wrap this up too, everybody, this man has a Pick Apart the Passion podcast that you've got to check out. It's got a lot of really interesting people on there. I'll go ahead and drop some links down below that you guys can hit up to find his new album, and just how to follow him and all that shit, man. Very entertaining. You guys need to follow this guy.
Word up. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been great.
Oh yeah, man. Till next time. Yeah, man. And yeah, maybe we'll have to get you on in the future at some point in time on the podcast. We'll do some more chopping up and talk about some things. But yeah, man. Again, appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure. I got a crazy ass story, so just let me know, man.
Word up.
I do. All right, man. Peace out.
All right, peace, man.
Later.